one box. Let's open this up and see what we got. Ooh, we got a sense. Oh, the carrots. Super cute. All right, I'm gonna think about this one quick and maybe pull some things from our stash, and we will get to creating. Okay, I have a piece of perfect blend cardstock here, cut down to a slimline card. I don't know if I'm gonna make a slimline card. I just got this piece out. I also have some carrot chroma glaze, and I'm just gonna grab my little spatula tool here. Not gonna worry about being perfect. We're just gonna spread this on as smoothly as we can. I like to go one direction. I am going in the second direction right here just because it's near my fingers to put it on. And then I'm going to very carefully lift it. It's not perfect over here. I'm gonna let this dry. Actually, I might just do another one right here. Set that back down. Like I said, just kind of just do a second one. If I'm off camera a little bit, I apologize. You could use some pixie spray. I'll usually use pixie spray when I'm using something like a medium like this. I just didn't this time. Then I'll just quickly pick it off. And we're just gonna set this aside and let it dry. And it shouldn't take terribly long. It kind of depends on your climate and things like that. Like I said, I've got a little bit of, but I'm okay. You know, I moved it a little bit. A little pixie spray does help with that. But you do want to go ahead and clean this off right away. I do like to use a silicone type spatula because usually if you do let it dry, it will wipe off. If you don't get to it right away, it will soak right off. But I usually just clean up right away, or I leave a small package of like a little thing of soapy water off to the side when I'm creating, and I usually create a bunch at once, and I put this off to the side and make a bunch, and then I clean up everything all at once. I'm gonna wipe my lid off. I'm gonna grab my little plastic piece here. I am gonna wipe the edges just because I had a little bit of issue getting this plastic piece off, and this plastic piece helps keep it, instead of press and seal, you can use that, and then that helps keep it in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and seal that off, and oops, I got some on my fingers here, and then I'm gonna go clean up and let this dry, and then we'll come back and finish our card when it's done. Okay, my panel is dry, and I'm going to I did it at the top and the bottom. I let it dry, and then I grabbed some lima bean cardstock, and oops, that's extra. And I stamped and already colored in the Theodore's Garden. I stamped this image, and then I used the SVG files. I will link anything down below that is available to purchase outside the box. Those links will be affiliate links, which just mean if you place a link or an order using one of those links, I get a small commission, which helps me bring you content like this. I'm also using the Garden Fresh paper pad. I pulled out this carrot paper pad with the green. I think that would be fun. So I'm going to start by cutting my panel down for an A2 card, or for a slimline card. I'm going to cut it to 3.5. And then this piece, I'm going to go ahead and cut down to 3. Just making sure it's nice and straight like that. And then I'm going to cut off just a little bit off the top here and a little bit off the bottom. I'm just going to eyeball that. Not too bad. Now I wanted to show you, since I did not use the pixie spray, I have a little bit of over right here. I don't worry about that too much. It's fine. All right, we're gonna put that down like this, and then I'm gonna put a band in the middle I'm just going to use this leftover piece from my card stock, and I'm going to cut that down to 3.5 or 3.25 as well. That will go right across the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 3 by I didn't do that right. So this is the one that needs to be 3. And then this is, how wide is this? This is 2.25, so 2. Okay, so this needs to be 2 by 3. Okay, let's get our card put together here. So I'm going to start by adhering this to my panel. I'll just eyeball that so it's centered as best I can. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece, our stenciled piece, to my background. Once again, eyeballing it so that if you can eyeball the centers from 2 or 3 sides, you should be fairly close. And don't worry about it being perfection, because it is a handmade card. And then we'll adhere our middle section here. I love how it just kind of, and then it matches kind of perfectly there. And then we've got our little Theodore and our little, actually I think we're going to do them backwards. I'm going to put this one here and I'm going to put this one guy up here just to, I think I'm going to put him here, and we're going to put our little sentiment up above. And I don't know. I'm going to put it down below. I do want to do him on this side because I think that I want more of the carrots to show. I'm going to use a little bit of tape runner and liquid glue just because there's a little bit of a kind of coating on the paper pad. I'll set this down over here. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll plant it right here. We'll do it right there. But I'm going to take just a hair. I'm just going to actually take a piece. This is the piece that we cut off. I'm just going to cut this down and add a little bit right at the top. And even just tear it. I'm just going to do that a little bit just to give it a little bit more, and do one more. And all that's going to do is give it a little bit more of a layer because there's multiple layers of cardstock there. So I'm just going to add just a couple layers of cardstock like this. You won't even see that they're there. And then when I go in to glue this one down, there's just a little bit. You can still see some of those carrots. That just gives it a little bit of extra so it doesn't squish. And there we go. Here is day 11. We made a slimline card. So come back for day 12. I can't believe we only have a few days left. So I will talk to you later. Have a great day.